Dreaming and Danza, Chapter 14, Segment 2. Freudians probe the unconscious to reveal conflicts in the client's personality. Vocabulary. Free association. A technique for probing a client's unconscious, when the client given a list of words or phrases replies to each with whatever comes to mind. Freudian slips. The utterance in a spontaneous conversation of something that is socially unacceptable but reveals the speaker's true feelings. Notes. Freud believed that a person's unconscious would reveal a person's true feelings. Freud's most famous method of divining the unconscious was dreaming. Dreams depict one's wants and desires. The manifest content of dreams was the superficial aspects of it. That in content would be the true meaning of one's dreams. Projective tests are unreliable and their validity is difficult to determine. Vocabulary. Projective tests. A method for probing the unconscious by asking a client to generate words or stories in response to a stimulus. The Rorschach test. A projective test in which a client's perceptions of a series of ink blots is recorded and analyzed to reveal unconscious processes. Thematic apperception test. A projective test in which a person is shown a picture and asked to tell a story to describe what's happening in the picture. The response is analyzed to reveal unconscious processes. Reliability. The degree to which a measurement tool produces consistent, repeatable results. Validity. The extent to which a test actually measures the trait it is intended to measure. Some notes. Following Freud's thoughts on the subconscious came the projective tests. The most famous projective test is the Rorschach test. Unfortunately, projective tests have received wide criticisms. People are wary about the reliability and validity of these tests. The Rorschach test and other projective tests are thought to be too subjective. Humanistic psychology challenged the psychoanalytic model. Some vocabulary. Humanistic psychology, a theory that challenges psychoanalytic theory by emphasizing our free will and our ability to play a conscious, active role in shaping our own behavior. Self-actualization, a humanistic psychology concept of the process by which a person lives up to his or her full potential, becoming the best and happiest human they can be. Rogerian psychotherapy, a method of treatment focusing on the client's goals, offering a non-judgmental forum where the client can problem solve with a therapist's cooperation. Notes on this section. Psychoanalytic theories have a negative connotation to them. Humanistic psychology was then developed. Humanistic psychology states that people can shape their own lives. Humanistic therapists help clients achieve self-realization, during which they discover what is missing in their lives in order for them to be happy. Carl Rogers was one of the founders of humanistic psychology, and he came up with a person-centered therapy. Section 14.2, the rejection of personality types and the pursuit of traits. Modern psychology emphasizes traits rather than types. Vocabulary. Personality traits. Particular aspects of behavioral characteristics that can be objectively measured in a quantitative fashion. Notes. Psychologists began to take an empirical, practical approach to the study of personality. One's personality began to be viewed as a collection of characteristics. Psychologists developed ways to indicate how much of a certain characteristic or trait someone had. Now there are big 5 traits. Introverts and extroverts offer continuum personalities. Vocabulary for this section is extrovert, someone who likes being with other people and tends to be talkative and assertive. Introvert, someone who is less talkative and prefers solitary pursuits. Continuum, when a trait varies in a continuous gradual fashion. And neuroticism. Emotional instability, how readily a person's emotional state is upset by the events of everyday life. Some notes. C.J. Jung came up with the differences between introversion versus extroversion. Extroverts like to be outside, like to be around people, whereas introverts are the opposite. They tend to be shy and seek solitude, but that does not mean that they are uncomfortable in social situations. Hans Eysenck correlated brain activity with introverts and extroverts. According to Eysenck, introverts have brains that are already well stimulated, whereas extroverts have brains that may need extra stimulation, hence their need for wanting to be around other people. And being an introvert or an extrovert deals with heritability. He also discovered that being an introvert or an extrovert is a continuous trait, just like emotional instability. Eysenck's theories are influential in the fact that there is a biological basis to any human personality trait, and that personality psychology should be subjected to scientific testing. How many personality traits are there? Vocabulary. Factor analysis, a statistical method of examining many different measures to see whether some of those measures consistently covary with one another. Some notes. Gordon Allport looked at language to try and determine how many personality traits there are. Raymond Cadell used factor analysis to determine how many traits there were, and he established that there are 16 source traits of personality. Modern personality theory embraces the 5-factor model. Vocabulary. The 5-factor model. The idea that 5 basic traits make up each individual's personality. Openness, a personality trait that reflects a person's tendency to seek new experiences. Conscientiousness, a personality trait that reflects a person's tendency to be self-disciplined and reliable, and feel a need for achievement. and agreeableness, a personality trait that reflects a person's tendency to be compassionate and cooperative. Notes: the big five personality traits have the mnemonic OCEAN, which stands for openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. People's personalities are composed of all five to different degrees, and each of the five traits are partly independent of each other. The big five are extroversion, wanting to seek the company of others; neuroticism, how emotionally unstable someone is; openness, wanting to try new things and being imaginative and having the ability to think abstract thoughts; conscientiousness, practical, reliable, and self-disciplined; and agreeableness, compassionate and cooperative.